TV, which is 321's team. This game sucks. Cornstarch's team, Dave. And we have, what was it, 2 Americans and 1 Soviet, and 2 Japan
and 1 SS, yeah.
1 SS.
So it's pretty balanced, but
based on this map, it's relatively flat, relatively open. There's some cover, a lot of like little fence walls and some houses and stuff. I fully expect to see Devil's Brigade, and probably a fair bit of flamethrowers, as there's a couple ditches around that could be pretty abusive.
You say Devil's Brigade, but they did not do that in the last match, so that might have been because they were more confident about winning. We'll see. In the end, I need to see the map first because I don't know a lot of these by name. Oh, here we go. Alright, I am spectating the Axis players, and from where I am facing...
I am as well. So, face north.
Yep.
You said they have a... I don't see a point indicator on these flags at all.
There was, at least in the last one. Maybe they have to capture them first.
We'll refer to it as... This will be like the naturals, so A1, B1, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3 across the middle, and then... Or A1, A2, and then this will be B1, B2 for the Axis side back points.
Right on. Alright, let's check out what they're buying. Got Japanese suicide chargers on the right for the Axis. Oh, I gotta turn off fog.
Got Grenadiers on the right. Yeah, I just did that too. More suicide chargers. We are not seeing Devil's Brigade. We're seeing...
Yeah, like I noticed that. They didn't do that last time. We've got Marines from a Soviet
riflemen.
player, which is a good choice. Marines are always good. Oh, we got more Marines from the other Soviet player because they switched from U.S. But yeah, definitely no Devil's Brigade. He just went pure rifle.
Point 1, the far western point in the middle, it would be pretty abusive for a flamethrower tank, as well as if they can get back up into the natural of...
I'm kind of curious who's going to bring out the flamethrower tank, because you could see an extra... No, you could have an early SS flamethrower, or you have the Japanese.
We're definitely going to see SSDs. I feel like that's just too much of the way they play. And then I fully expect SS to probably get one eventually, because, again, Flam Panzer 3s are so good.
Very true. But
we got some grenade action going around over here.
The OT-34.
Beating out Wild style.
Yeah, but the flood of Japanese troops isn't ending, and the grenade spam is, of course, a thing.
Grenade spam everywhere going on.
That said, you've got Soviet
off
Marines.
Way worse against 321.
Yeah, Soviet Marines are faring really, really well against the Japs, though, taking minimum losses.
Looks like Barber got wiped, and he's sending in a Jeep to try to recover. But elsewhere, it looks like the Allies have taken the upper hand.
Oop, bad grenade from a Japanese player. Yep, kills a bunch of his infantry.
This looks fairly in the Allies' favor. I guess not point-wise currently, but they should be able to take this without too many problems.
They have a strong position in the middle. They've got Terra has sandbags up and SVT troops behind that. And granted, he's going against the SS, but the SS has a lot worse of a position in my opinion.
Seeing a lot of Jeeps. I'm not really a big fan of the Jeeps.
I don't use Jeeps.
I feel like they're too flimsy. I mean, against Japan, they might work all right. We got the Gaz AA truck, well, that's not a Jeep. And then we have an SG-43, so we have a lot of machine guns coming up from the Allies. We got a Fallschirmjäger MG-42 heading up over to the west side. He might get killed. He's already taken a hit.
Oh, and he gets down the half health.
Yeah. He was down the half health.
I saw that. I was in on that, yeah. Well, if he gets healed, then that is a very strong hold on that side. SS Fallschirmjäger, or SS. Yeah, it is SS Fallschirmjäger MG-42.
Yeah, it's against the Soviets, so I mean, unless the Soviets bring up some like shock and just creep up with smoke or something, they're gonna have a real hard time with that.
If they micro a gas truck, they could do really well there.
And we are seeing the mechanized push. We got the SS bringing out double half tracks and the SSD and a 20 centimeter, and we got a Fallschirmjäger squad.
Very nice timing push. They had the AA, but they left it in spawn. Oh, that's Japanese. Yeah.
So we have 3 Fallschirmjäger MG-42s already on the field because he saved for a Fallschirmjäger squad.
Oh, absolutely. We saw this in the last tournament too. The timing push by the SS because they get 2 half tracks with SD.
It's kind of one of their like unique features.
That's true, but we do have 2 Soviet players, and let us see if they're preempting this with AT
we got
rifles.
A bunch of reinforcements on Barbara's side going against 3-2-1, but the grenades are still coming in.
We also have a gas truck. Okay, it's on one of the naturals for the allied player.
All of the mechanized seems to be going to the left front, except for this SSD. So the allies may be able to break through and push 3-2-1 out, as long as they don't get too wrecked by the grenades.
We have a bit of a brave play by Barbara on the far left flank. He's put a lot of his troops on just move at will, which means the AI will help him advance, but the AI is not renowned for being all that great, so we'll see if that works out.
We've already got an M3 AT gun coming in from Barbara, which should be able to deal with that SSD.
It's all about timing.
RNG hates them.
He needs to get it deployed. You know, there was an instance in the last tournament where I believe I got a AT gun up just in time to fucking dunk in one of those half tracks. So you got to get it up quick, otherwise they overrun your position. The SSD is creeping up.
Yeah, Cornstarch's got to be paying attention here. He has an AT rifle, but it's not in position yet.
They're coordinating too. So gas truck goes down. We have coordinated SSD and the flame trap track. We'll see if they. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of disagree with that. I would have split them up, hit both sides, different sides at once. But
well, you want to overwhelm their AT capability. If one of them goes down, you make sure you kill the AT, and then you could just roll over their side.
Yeah, but at this point in the game, any kind of AT is not going to be that much of a worry for the SSD if it has infantry support.
This is too far forward.
Yeah, they're not pushing anything. There's no guys here. They're just.
It looks like they're gonna completely wipe this side.
Well, there wasn't a lot.
He is hitting the flam wagon.
Yep. He took a hit.
Still not dead though. Good old fire makes it not explode. Because reasons.
If he takes that out, that's a coup, because it's done very little.
Yeah, it's relatively cheap though.
You say that, but there's a cooldown and it's just opportunity cost.
Oh, the AT rifle goes down. Is it gonna go and grab it?
It has been semi-immobilized. Half of its track
but here
is
comes grenade spam. It doesn't matter if that AT rifle goes down permanently.
It's still up. I'm looking at a grenade.
Well, he just picked it back up, and he's getting chased down by suicide chargers.
I see that, but they missed, and they only come with one grenade. Otherwise, suicide
chargers
another
hit, still not dead. Here comes the SSD, too. The MG might get him.
Oh, hold up.
There's an Izu AA about as well.
Is that a 50
not sure
cal?
what that is.
No. Yeah, that is. No. No, that's
not. No, it's SG-43.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the other side of the map. In the
flame tanks being immune to dying, as usual.
Yeah, that fits pretty well for a Robz game. Lines are pretty static on the rest of the points, however. Though we do have a decent allied presence on the far left that's threatening that.
We got a massive amount of infantry over here on the eastern side with Barbara and 3-2-1.
Yeah, no, like he's actually threatening it. And granted, they have a lot of Japanese troops here, but they're all suicide chargers. They're trash. He needs to get some fortifications.
No, some of them are Imperial Guard.
Yeah, but you got to hold those back and get some fortifications up. Until then, they're a lot more vulnerable. But yeah, he's flooding the point, hoping to overwhelm.
SSD's still running through.
I will say, contrary to what we both believe, the Jeep has gotten 10 infantry kills, and it's still going strong. So
we got an M20 up that's going to try to kill the SSD.
Let's take a look.
But the SSD is wrecking face right now. There's a whole charge coming through that is getting hit.
Oh, yep. Excellent play by the Axis. They broke through, and they're now exploiting. The SSD takes a hit.
AT rifle also hitting it.
But it doesn't seem to actually damage it or penetrate, because it's still going fine.
Well, it's causing a lot of lag with all that flames.
Yeah, we called it like strategic lag in the last game.
This flamethrower that the Red Army Terra has in the center should be flaming that out, that SSD. Oh, and it died.
Flaming out an SSD isn't super consistent. I will say, though, if it crashes, keep in mind that it's only a win if it is overwhelmingly in favor of one team or the other, which it is not.
This SSD is just going to town right now. They really need to be...
This early in the game, yeah, they need to focus it. But that said, it's killed a lot of infantry. However, they have it kind of pushed up, and there's suicide chargers capping their right natural.
Yeah, if you look at it, like their entire flank was just cleared by that. That's why I personally think flame tanks are a little over impressive. This thing has been hit repeatedly and just still hasn't died. And there's still the flame panzer on the other side.
SG-43, good kill for the SSD.
Yeah, still Flame Panzer 3 alive as well.
Get an AT rifle on its flank.
This
we'll
charge
see if it
from
survives.
Terra doing incredibly poorly. It's just getting grenade microed. There goes about 20 guys from one grenade.
I'm a little disappointed. They should have expected this. With Japan and the SS, that timing attack is really, really strong. It's taking considerable hits, the SSD, from an AT rifle and a 50 cal.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot of bad RNG here as well. There was an M3 AT gun that he had over here. Still over here. Still hasn't killed the SSD over here.
The flame half-track is reversed so that the MG42 in the back is actually effective. That's a very good play by the Axis players.
Oh, we have a pack coming out from another Flame Panzer wagon from spawn, and there's also a Honi on the field.
The Allied player needs to make a push on the eastern flank and actually get that at least contested, and that'll have to force them to divert resources to the other side of the map. But we have the Honi 75mm is supporting that, so it looks like they want to hold it.
The Axis are going hard in on their SP. They're already down to 9 SP for the one Japanese player.
Absolutely.
That would be 3-2-1.
I wish we had a list of people so we could see their
score-wise, it's pretty much a one-sided destruction right here. The Axis have twice as much score as the Allies.
That is true. Give them some time. I'm not going to call this game just yet because we're seeing supporting infantry coming back into the natural.
They've spent a lot of their SP. One of the Flame Panzer wagons goes down over here to an AT rifle. SSD goes down to the AT gun.
We're going to see a lot of Shermans here before too long. I disagree with him buying the M20. I don't like the M20.
He could have used it. He was trying to buy something in panic to deal with that SSD quickly, but he didn't use it. He was not close enough to really do anything with it.
I imagine, yeah. Granted, it'll still be useful because of
loading
all
AP?
the infantry. Yep, the T60 is. I imagine that's going to be very good against all this light armor.
I mean, you say that, but it's also an SSD. It doesn't detonate, so it's kind of hard to kill.
You got to penetrate and kill all the crew. That is true, but it has been immobilized, and
we're seeing a second SSD coming
in the middle. Granted, there wasn't a lot here for it to kill, but this is going to overrun them and force to actually recommit to taking it back. So we're seeing a lot of territory loss to the Allies, but not monetary loss just yet. So if they play it right, they have the income advantage to take this back, but they have to be careful because there's a fuck ton of support here for the Axis guys. Yeah, they're very much committing to this early game rush.
A lot of infantry on both sides here, just kind of creating a no-man's zone over on the eastern flank between Barbara and 321. These Imperial Guards with the machine guns, got 2 or 3 of them over here, are going to be able to keep back any standard riflemen from the Soviets, and they don't really have a lot of firepower.
Yep, T-60 is moving into the middle point in order to maybe kill the SSD. However, it's being engaged by the 20mm, yeah. We're seeing Micro from 321 on these suicide chargers. He really seems intent on taking the... that
PTRD is still killing more snow.
As it should. If you have PTRD, I expect it's going to get a lot of kills.
Oh, the flamethrower got detonated and wiped out his own squad. Oh, I think he detonated his own flamethrower.
That's the danger with shock guys. They can take a hit, and then that's the entire squad gone. This SSD is still mobile when it's moving to threaten the leftmost natural for the Allied players.
Yeah, the Allies really should be using their AT better. There's an AT in these partisans over here, Panzerfaust. That M20 has a bazooka in it. They still have not pulled out.
With the Axis players committed to this early game rush, the Allied players could make a comeback with an armored timing push because
it's going to come down to the mass Sherman push.
Mass Shermans and mass T-34s. They're going to get them at about the same time, and if they mass those, they can overwhelm this pretty seriously because all they have is the 75mm Honi. That's about the extent of it. So
score-wise, we're 10 minutes in. We're only at 25 scores, so they've got plenty of time to make a comeback, but they're still failing on counting this grenade micro here. Partisans are just not very good at dealing with it. They don't come with a ton of grenades.
Yeah, I don't buy partisans. They're a bad choice.
Pack is up front now here as well. They've got a lot of support weapons over here now.
Where's the Pack?
Flame Panzer wagon. It's over on the western side by the Izu AA. So that's going to make this very difficult.
Yep, they've got ammunition.
Paratroopers coming in from the Axis players while dropping. Oh, we got the tank bush coming down.
They dropped it. All right, 3 T-34s. Are they doing the Shermans as well? Oh, yeah. So we got 6 T-34s on the field, a charge. We'll make that 7 T-34s. Anything from the American player?
They may not have theirs quite yet.
Okay, but it's gonna be soon. They get a
Yeah.
the Croc and the 105 mil, which is very, very strong against, especially against all
they're
this.
they're really going to put a sweat left side over here. The Honey is a threat, but it's not a major threat. The right side is way more reinforced. I mean, you can see the amount of Imperial Guard over there with bazookas. We got one, two, at least two with three bazookas over here.
Yeah.
And then there's multiple Fallschirmjäger Panzerfaust and Fallschirmjägers with the upgraded anti-tank grenade, the one that decided the last tournament that Darwin used, the Panzergranata 61 with its 100
bullshit
meters of pen.
Bullshit.
Granted, it's been nerfed since then, and that was a large part of why it was. But still, those pairs have dropped, and it looks like they're not going to be very effective. They dropped right in the middle of a ton of infantry.
Well, I almost completely missed the paras, but yeah, they go down with a bit of a splat. Not very effective. This armored push seems to be converging towards the middle. They only diverted.
They managed to push out the western point temporarily. We really need to see some Shermans on the field so we get some white phosphorus out, or some SU-76s.
They need white phosphorus like a fat kid needs candy. Like, they really do. That would clear out so much of this and do so well, but we're not seeing it yet.
Since the mortar range change, I've become really fond of the mortar carriers because they don't die very easily from enemy mortars, and they still have like the really good new range that mortars have.
That is true. T-30, or no, that's an SSD with the shell shattered. All right, SSD's taking hits. Very nice.
The Axis must be banking for something. We're not seeing a whole lot coming out of their spawn. We got some Panzerfaust infantry, and we'll see if they can make the use of those.
You say banking, I'm saying they've bought a lot. There's a lot of Axis material on the field, along with like Fallschirmjäger squads that got thrown away. So they're not saving that much money. It's all
this Honey is going around completely unimpressed.
That said, has it gotten any kills yet? Because it's just kind of hanging.
I think
in the
it's gotten one, but this T-34 is getting bullied pretty hard. He's got bazookas and Honeys firing at RPGs, I should say.
Yeah, I will agree to that. They still seem to be getting pushed back. Granted, they have a lot of equipment on the field. They're just not utilizing it yet. The Allied players. I mean, we're seeing a great early game push from the Axis, and if they can lock it down, then that's probably game.
I mean, it's hard to push Japan back once they get this far, because they're just going to have so many RPGs.
And you say that. They need white phosphorus.
On this side.
White phosphorus, white phosphorus, white phosphorus. You get the heavy mortars for the Soviets, and that'll wide area clearing like it's Vietnam. That shit will just melt.
That's definitely what they should be doing. We got another 20mm coming in. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be at this point against T-34s and such. I mean, I guess I could deal with this M20 and deal a little bit to the infantry, but there's not a lot of other targets for it.
Not just that, I would like to see mass Scots from the American player, or Scots in a 105, or just, because they get a lot of white phosphorus.
The Honey finally got that T-34.
Yep. The Jeep from the beginning has actually outlasted some of those T-34s. That's kind of a pity.
T-34 trying to get some flanking shots on the SSD. Shell shattered.
That's the second time I've seen that. It's done absolutely nothing. Oh, we are seeing the beginning of the white phosphorus spam going down. One hitting directly on the SSD. Where's that coming from?
Oh, that was a rifle grenade, I think.
Ow.
That was the rifle grenadier, somewhere around there.
So not quite a dedicated push, but they are retaking the easternmost.
T-34 engaging the Honey. He's got a little bit of a hill cover.
This could be the start of a comeback, considering how much the Axis has put into this. Don't ever forget that.
The T-34 is still relatively exposed. Its gun depression's not very good, as is traditional with Soviet tanks.
Yeah, well, you don't need gun depression when you have 6 tanks. That's all right.
I mean...
We'll see if we can make it work, though. There's an infantry push that's skirmishing with just the ludicrous amount of Imperial Guard here on the western side.
I'm surprised we're not seeing heavy mortars, or... we might see a 200... That might be what the...
oh god, the SSD is still alive.
200mm.
It's still alive, and it's making a push on that western, easternmost natural.
Oh, he fucking missed.
Oh, the pack gun takes out the
the pack T-34. Was there, and then we got this T-34 about to take out this SSD.
Oh god, there's a fucking shock squad here.
But he's gonna lose the SSD. He's gonna lose the T-34 to this SSD if you don't kill it very quickly. It's got a lot of flame on him already.
Yeah, he's blocking the shock squad from getting melted.
It bounced.
That's bullshit.
Oh my god.
We should.
He still hasn't burned. Oh nope, there he goes. He's burned out.
This is what you guys deserve for voting in a tournament without rules. Just mass SSDs. It's cancer.
Oh, we got the counter flamethrowers going on. We got 2 different flamethrowers flamethrowing the SSD.
It it's not going to help. It takes so
I
long
mean,
to burn a flame
it will
tank.
do it. It will do it. We got 3 flamethrowers. This is mass flamethrowers. I've never seen someone use this many flamethrowers. That should kill it.
Track damage. Now is their chance while it's immobile. Yep,
Oh, there it goes.
Taking
that
half
was,
the
that
shock
was
squad with it.
expensive to kill that SSD, though.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Now that in mind, they have retaken both their natural and the lefternmost middle point.
So the Honey gets that T-34.
This could be the start of a comeback, but
this Honey's up to 2 vehicle kills.
They have to be very careful. Honey is slowly making itself cost-effective.
I mean, I think 1 T-34 is about the cost of a Honey, so...
Well, those T-34s were free, however.
Well, not free. They cost SP.
Well, so did the SSDs, which melted some infantry, granted. We have 2 T-34s still alive on the west side, and they're kind of supporting a slow.
A lot of 321 guys are out of ammo here over on the eastern flank. So if he doesn't re-ammo them, it could be possible that the Soviets could just push through with just infantry. There's only really a knee mortar laying down any.
And they've also not fortified any on the eastern side. There's no sandbags, very few emplacements. All the SS FG-42 guys are on the western side. So this eastern side, that seems like an opportunity for the Allied guys.
Yeah, it's been such a fast-paced match because the one side is playing so aggressive that neither side has really had the opportunity to dig in.
Okay, the Honey is kind of centralized on the eastern side. But that said, if they get anything like a jumbo or... hell, even a IS-1 would be enough to lock down that side and just overrun.
We have 1 officer on the field for the Axis and 1 officer on the field. No, 2 officers on the field for the Allies.
Good to see.
We actually have a suicide charger that's managed to make it back into the Allied spawn, so that's going to be able to spot anything that the Allies have, as long as it doesn't get caught, which it shouldn't. I mean, he really should move into this bush because it will give him just a little bit more stealth.
We're seeing a lot of kills coming from rifle grenades, which are really annoying, but they're very effective, and they seem to be pushing back the
American rifle grenades. I mean, rifle grenades were nerfed pretty hard, and then they got a little bit of a buff. I think they're okay where they are now, even on Fallschirmjägers.
I need to test it. Honey is moving into position on the far eastern side. He seems to be engaging a
T-34 that's just been sitting back there.
Yep. They need some heavier armor in the field. They really do.
I mean, the T-34 should be able to deal with these Honeys.
Well, Honey, isn't it just 1?
Yeah. It only has 25mm armor at the max.
They should have been focusing it down.
He does have 10 more range, but that's kind of moot when you have 4 T-34s. Or it did.
We have a Wolverine down on the field. Center left by their natural.
We also have a T-34-85 coming in as well.
Excellent choice. Is it the SP buy or the MP?
It is the MP.
Okay.
We don't have a guards.
Interestingly, that is going to the western side, which I disagree with.
Yeah, the Red Army has the assault one, which comes with 2.
Very true. That said, they have 3 T-34s, one of which is an 85, moving to this western side. So we could see some kind of an armored push. They can take out that pack.
We still have an SSD locking down the first point in the non-naturals. They tried to get it with a shock flamethrower, but it didn't quite work out.
Shock infantry is recapturing the rightmost natural for the Allied, which make it 3-4. Which, granted, they're still losing, but that again.
Well, that I wouldn't consider that.
Heavy artillery coming down. I don't know where it is, but I'm seeing it land on that rightmost natural. Another T-34 coming down. T-34-85 coming down for cornstarch, spawning in the eastern side, or western, excuse me. But yeah, they're beginning to recap the rightmost natural, and this could be. I say they invested a lot in this. Oh fuck.
Oh,
T-34-85 takes a hit, and it's dead.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some artillery from the Allies. I think that could.
They really need it, yeah.
There's just so much anti-tank over here on the left side that they're not going to be able to get through it very easily.
I mean, they have an opportunity here on the east side. I'm just not sure if they know it yet. Barber is sitting with the 76 Wolverine. He's hunting for something. He's not manualing it yet. It's kind of behind a hill, but he can make that work.
This pack really hasn't moved a whole lot.
No, it hasn't.
Moved a little bit, and now he's moving it now, but it should have been a target at some point.
Especially with the increased mortar range, you could at least decrew it and force him to, pay attention to that rather than microing infantry in his front line. We're seeing grenade spam going up. We got shock troopers and American infantry now, just shock troopers versus suicide chargers. Although the suicide chargers get their grenades stuck in a tree, so it's not very effective. Yeah, there's definite artillery somewhere. I don't know if it's Allied or Axis. I'm seeing it land in that right natural.
Seeing it from cornstarch.
Another SSD coming down for one of the Japanese players, wild style. It's looks like it's headed for the mid or the right or the eastern side. Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're seeing that from because you tried at the cornstarch.
I'm almost certain it's artillery. Yeah, hold up.
It looks like a mortar.
Okay, the pack is being moved back to rearm. I'm searching. Yeah, it looks like a mortar or like a light artillery piece, maybe a howitzer, but I'm not seeing where it's coming from.
Big old charge coming down the mill, all grouped up. They're gonna get mowed down most likely.
As expected, my
if you're gonna use the charge, you gotta really spread them out. We got grenade spam coming in.
Yep, we're seeing 3 more T-34s, probably the SP buy coming down from Terra as well. Those are headed to mid. The Axis have resecured the rightmost natural with the Allied players.
We have a Chiha 120 on the field. That'll deal with most of the Allied armor, especially if it gets into a hull down position, which it can do quite well due to its low velocity.
Disgusting, yeah.
This is a fail over here. 3-2-1 managed to trade pretty well. The suicide chargers in the middle. And we've got the discharges as well. He should have been microing his own grenades to try to cause the suicide chargers to jump instead of continue running, but we didn't see that.
Seeing some T-34s.
The score is starting to close down here. We're now to 76.
It's closed down. They still have an opportunity. I will not say this is nearly over. Eknan is transferring units. Eknan's giving units to the Japanese player.
The Allies need to take 2 points right now.
Yep. Cheeto on the field, the high velocity 75 mil, in addition to another SSD and a Chiha 120, which you already mentioned.
The Cheeto is going to be oppressive unless we see a slugger out for the Allies.
Again, I would have really liked to see an IS-1 or some kind of heavy armor go down for the Allies.
I don't think the IS-1's out yet, and I don't like the IS-1. It's not that good.
Usually I would agree with you, but like the heaviest thing they have anti-tank wise is a Pack 40. So as long as it's supported with infantry, that could be extremely oppressive against the Axis players.
I think they just need more continual.
Oh, Honey 3 finally goes down to a regular T-34. Very nice shot.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We now have a Chiha 120 and a Cheeto on the field, which are going to kind of define. We also have a Tiger on the field from the SS. He's screwing you up with elite tank crew.
Oh, as you should.
Or veteran tank crew.
In addition, though, we have an 85 mil that's still alive in the backfield for the Allied players. That could be a definite counter to the Tiger, in addition to a regular T-34 and an M8, which seems to... M20, excuse me. Bet he wishes it was an M8. Have that cannon. A lot of infantry here from both sides, but primarily it looks like it's suicide chargers just fucking everywhere.
Would there be a way to get your voice up slightly? I have you up to 200%, but Crab said you're a little quiet.
Oh, he's got to be joking. Here. I'll try and max it a little bit.
I could possibly turn my game volume down and turn the master up a little bit.
It doesn't look like it's on my end.
Let me adjust that then.
Yeah, my mic audio is, I don't know, it's not down at all. Or actually, check to see if you don't have me like lowered in Discord. Oh, hello.
I hit the options button. That might have been a mistake. Apparently, it froze my game.
Tell him not to just yet.
Tell him what?
Have you crashed?
No, I haven't crashed.
All right. Drop into their voice chat. Tell them not to kick you quite yet. Because I can't type in game because I'm a spectator. Big rip. I think he's gone. And that is a big rip. Oh shit.
All right, please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We have a slight issue. I should not have clicked options. Dio, I need you to stream.
I am streaming. I can't guarantee the quality though, because the game itself is running like ass at this point. We had an SSD ignite in the middle most point, and that's burning everything around it. Commanding your soldiers with 10-second delay. Yeah, I feel that. I really do.
All right. Well, the audio is not going to be optimal here, but we have something, so we can at least see the game still. I will have to adjust my options after the match, so I don't crash.
I'll try to move it as little as possible so you can actually like tell what's going on, because I know the quality is. Somebody needs to boost this server so we can get 1080p. But yeah, relatively static since we last saw. That armor from the Axis is advancing to the middle field. However, they do have a lot of solutions. The T-34 is taking out all their support weapons. So definitely room for a comeback. They could take 2 points very quickly and very, just like that, secure the advantage. It kind of depends on if they deal with that Tiger and the Cheetah 120. Oh, T-34. Oh, no, it's a regular T-34. So not too big of a deal for them. I know it looks like a big, explosion.
The 20 centimeter was credited for the kill. I assume something else actually hit it, and the 20 centimeter got credited.
Yeah, it looks like it was the Pac, the Pac 40 that took it down.
Gotcha.
Type 4 RPG takes out another base T-34 by. Neither of those is the 85 mil, but they still hurt. The 20 mil takes down the M20, which the M20's been there for a while. Oh, the third of those cheap T-34s goes down to the Cheetah 120, so they definitely know it's there now.
I mean, it's getting expensive. Each one of those T-34s costs over 300 MP. So
no, those are the SP buys, every single one of them.
Well, yeah, but it's still the equivalent.
That is true, but you got to realize they bought 2 flame half tracks for the SS and then another one in addition to 4 or 5 SDs at this point. So they have room to float. That's what I'm saying.
You can see 321 is completely gas right now.
Absolutely. He's out of money, and it's going to be a little bit before he has access to that latter half of the game. So like I said, there is room for a comeback here, and their score, it's not too terrible, although Terra seems to have lost quite a few vehicles.
They're going to need to move quickly.
They know about the Tiger. They took out the SG-43, which is, not a very good valuation, but they know it's here, and they know where it's at now.
They're going to need both an answer to the tanks of the Axis, which, they have to deal with both indirect and the raw firepower of the Tiger, and they're also going to need a way to deal with all this dug-in infantry behind hills and buildings and stuff, which is white phosphorus.
Keep in mind, most of that infantry is suicide chargers. Yeah, unless you're on the west side.
It can still stop infantry.
Another cheap T-34 goes down to an RPG,
We really need to see some white phosphorus. 20 minutes into a game with 3 factions that can access white phosphorus, and we haven't seen any of it. Actually, the Japanese can use it too. We haven't seen any from the Japanese either.
Yeah. This kind of a map where you've got this static line of defense, you really need just all the white phosphorus you can get. And it's not that expensive. It's a light artillery piece, or hell, even a Scott, which comes with quite a few shells. And that should be, if you're playing Allied, that should be like the second thing you go to beyond, tanks, of course.
Yeah, I don't know if I quite agree that it's a static line of defense. I mean, there's been a lot of shifting back and forth, but it's been slowed down. I wouldn't call it static. Nobody's really dug in.
West side is very, very, very static. They've been there for a while. Granted, you've got like suicide charges behind the hills, but primarily it's just like Fallschmaggers reinforcing the cheap, shitty infantry. Oh, Tiger. No, that's a Cheeto.
Yeah, that Cheeto's going to be impressive. Nothing has the range to really reach that.
What is it? Oh, 230 meters. God, that's actually really, really good.
Yeah, it's incredibly good. It's only like 650 or something like that.
Hell, the M3 AT gun from the beginning takes out an SSD, so there we go.
They always find a use.
Yeah, that's something at least. Has the Wolverine been taken down yet? The one George had?
I do not know. I did not see it. I think it was still alive when I dropped.
T-34-85 is still up. It's been tracked, however. I wonder if it's engaging the Tiger. Oh, Cheetah 120 goes down from Terra.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't even know what killed it.
Got with?
No, it's just question marks, so it must have been like heavy artillery maybe?
Yeah, either an explosion or flamethrower, one of the two.
Looks like the Axis player is trying to target the T-34-85.
He's in a bit of a risky spot, I think.
God, he's got so many of the cheap, shitty T-34 buys.
they really haven't accomplished much with them.
No, I don't buy that more than once unless you're like really need the armored backup. I would have bought like another 85. Cheeto goes down.
Oh, Cheeto goes down.
And this is really kind of what I was saying. You know, if they can make it, you know, at the very least. Oh, hold up though. Yeah, they need to cap 2 more points in order to at least stop the score ticking back on them.
Well, I think they only need. Yeah, they need either decap 2 or cap 2 or something of that combination.
Right now, the best option for that is 100% on the east side, because they've already killed most of the supporting armor. They've really only got the Tiger left that can contend all these T-34s.
They need to be dropping white phosphorus in here to clear them up.
God, yes. Granted, okay, hold up. These are Imperial Guard that are kind of behind reinforcements. And behind that...
Yeah, but they're wooden fences. They break easy, and white phosphorus will clear them out nice and easy.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, at this point in the game, with this much lag, it's actually really, there's a lot of a struggle to take down infantry, even if you've got something like an M16. It's just the AI is lagging because the game is lagging, and that just makes it really, really tough to take down large amounts of infantry with vehicles.
Yeah.
Again, white phosphorus is the solution.
White phosphorus also lags the game more.
We're seeing an infantry push. We are seeing an infantry.
The Fury's shutting down the Tiger right now.
Excellent, as it should. Yep, we're still seeing large amounts of armor from the Soviet players as well as the U.S. player. He still has a Wolverine back here, but he's not really utilizing it. I think it's supporting the 85 mm T-34. But we're seeing infantry from the Allies approach both the middle point and the middle right-hand side. And
I think we're just now starting to see like effective use of the Allied armor.
Yeah, they're landing hits on the Tiger. Granted, it hasn't died yet; it's not even damaged, but they know where it's at, and they're landing shots on it.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, there was a penetration that happened and killed 3 of the crew, so I'm not sure what damage is to it.
Okay.
Click on it.
Okay. I'm gonna click as little as possible on this game because there's a little bit of a delay, and I really don't want to crash and then have like 0 way to watch the rest of this game.
It looks like his horizontal turret drive might be broken.
That I tend to agree. He's not moving that at all. So yeah, that may have been a penetration that is relevant on that. Oh, hello.
Essentially making that Tiger pretty useless.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of... Oh, these are like partisans, okay.
The Allies are really going to have to start kicking in the gear, though.
They need to capture 2 points, and they need to do it now before it gets down to like the last couple points. If they do that, the pack takes out a regular T-34.
That pack has just been doing work all game.
Again, they should have located that and brought it down with white phosphorus, or at least decrewed it. Make him pull it back.
Yeah. The RPGs are strong, but you know, if they decreed that pack out in the range, and then we could have just seen a tank deal with it without the RPGs really being able to do anything. But we didn't see that.
Slightly good play from one of the Soviet players, Cornstarch here, is we've got a trench with Marines fortified in it, like the Soviet Marines, and those are overlooking the point, so they can actually bring guys up to help start capping that.
The first fortification we've seen all game.
Yeah, oh god, yes, and it's a very good position, so props to him for that. We're seeing grenade skirmish here between suicide chargers and it looks like partisans probably. So not super decisive on either side, although it looks like the suicide chargers got the better of it.
As they've been tending to do all game, we haven't really seen a lot of good counter micro going on.
Then again, with this much lag, micro becomes very, very difficult.
I mean, yeah, to some degree.
Fury has moved up. Fury is just south of the center point. And
I'm curious to know what damage it has to it.
It looks like just a track, but I'll click on it. Fuck it. Yeah, it's just a track. It's been decrewed slightly. Well, or that may just because the guy... Oh, hello.
Tiger's still doing work, I would assume that's what that was.
Didn't kill anything, though.
There is another Cheeto on the field.
The Axis are using snipers. Snipers really are the key. I'm convinced of this.
And here Des tried to tell me snipers are not useful at all.
There's a sufficient mass. Tiger's still taking hits.
Snipers, you don't want too many of them because the key thing about them is that they use 5 CP each. So they'll absolutely wreck your CP.
Well, again, look, one of the Japanese players only has 13 CP on the field, so he's completely out of money.
Yeah, he has a lot of crap, and all of his officers, I assume. Yeah, he has all 3 officers. That's 3-2-1.
He's putting crew back inside the Tiger. It's taking hits, non-penetrating though. That 85 mil needs to land a hit because
that Fury needs to have HVAP in it, or it's not going to be able to deal with that Tiger very well.
Well, they've got enough options because it's like, look at this Tiger. You can land a hit through the house with the 85 mil and maybe even pen the side armor. The 85 is very consistent versus Tigers.
Oh, so his turret is working again.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what happened.
Okay, we're seeing Axis infantry capture the leftmost natural for the Allied players. At this point, I'm going to say they're going to struggle to make the push and take them back.
Yeah, that might be game here.
Oh, and the Tiger takes down the Sherman Fury.
Yeah, I think it's safe to call it game at this point.
Yeah, pretty good game. Very, very good early game rush. If you want to know how to make that work as the Axis, specifically with an SS and a Japanese player, then this is definitely the game to watch. They did very well.
I mean, we've seen this repeatedly in all the 2 other games that this game sucks has played. Is that they focus very heavily on the early game rush, which is kind of the meta, but I would expect qualified players to be able to handle it.
You were very vulnerable for significant parts of this game, so if you're an Allied player wanting to know how to beat them, White Phosphorus. Holy shit, I can't say it enough.
Especially White Phosphorus or making use of the shock flamethrowers better. They saw some use, but it wasn't as much as I would have liked to see.
It's incredibly hard because this game has been lagging almost since the outset, just because the sheer amount of infantry in flames. It's hard to dedicate micro when shit is like running at 1 frame per second. God, this T-34-85 is taking hits, but he's not dead yet. Props to them for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Although they have stopped the Axis cap on that leftmost natural, and they still have infantry in position to neutralize these 2 middle points. So I will say there is potential for a Hail Mary here. I will say that.
I find it highly unlikely. Is that an
God, yes.
IS-1 there?
Pardon?
Is that an IS-1 right there, or is that an IS-2?
IS-1.
Yeah.
So no, never mind. T-34-45 goes down to the Tiger. It's just it's a massacre now.
I think the ISU-122 would just be coming online right about now, maybe a little bit
KV-8
earlier.
is taking hits. They bought the flame tank, which, granted, they should have done it a long time ago, but it's been taking heat hits from an RPG somewhere.
That could have done with the SSDs really well.
Yep. He's got an SNLF Marine 321 with an RPG on the flank. Granted, the KV-1 is almost as bad against heat as like the Panzer III is, but he still seems to have tracked it.
The RPG has more pen than the bazooka, but it's
direct hit on the SNLF Marines.
Those you really have to hit the turret on the KVs, and even then, it's only a chance.
Oh, we have 15 points left. Oh,
they're not Panzer Shrek.
I'm not even faking it. This is kind of exciting. They have enough forces in position to neutralize 2 of these points, and if they do it, they have at least a chance. So
it all comes down to what the Allies have banked SP wise. They can roll out some mortars and stuff. They might be able to do it, but I find it unlikely.
It's really unfortunate that we don't have a way of watching that, but it is what it is.
Well, the KV-8's going down. It just took a hit.
Yeah, that's the Tiger noticing it. It still seems functional.
No, that was an RPG. RPG hit it.
The RPC's
it's to the left.
Oh, there we go. Yep, there it goes. 3-2-1 with another RPG. That one's Imperial Guard. Well done. So that proves that infantry micro isn't impossible, even if it's running this ass. The IS-1 is moving up in the middle, supported by infantry. Oh my god, this is actually really close. He's taking hits from the pack, but again, he doesn't really need to fear that very much.
I mean, that natural still hasn't been secured.
Yeah, that's the Tiger on its right flank, in addition to... Oh, that's just a half-track. Okay. Oh, the IS-1 goes down to... Dude, they need more infantry support. Holy shit. That RPG, and especially 3-2-1, has gotten so many fucking kills with that this match. Several T-34s in addition to an IS-1. Granted, he still has another IS-1 on the field, but...
Yeah, but the IS-1's not saying sideways onto a Tiger.
If they had any chance in winning, that other IS-1 needed to stay alive. And the Cheeto another Cheeto takes down the second IS-1, and that is probably game for team. This game sucks. God, a lot of armor lost in this game. Take a look at the final scores with all those red bars. Oh, Jesus. This game's even on an SSD, and it's... Well, okay, that doesn't really help, but...
And we'll get to see the factions flipped in the next game. And we will see how the team Dave does with the Axis. If we're going to see them also play super aggressive, but I don't think we're going to see that.
I don't want to see a Japanese play. I want to see pure Wehrmacht with MG42 spam and shit like that.
Yeah, does have the right to mind that.
No, but like it can be super strong with like 2 Wehrmacht and maybe an SS, or hell, if you're brave, even Ostfront player. You can make that work, and I really want to fucking see that. But
dude, I can't make Ostfront work anymore. They just got hit with too many independent nerfs recently that like they're just not that good anymore. They're the only faction that I think that isn't balanced.
probably.
Like they're playable, but they're not like competitive.
We're seeing a massacre. The Tiger is taking out all the remaining T-34s, and I have had a game where a T-34-85 went right through the front armor of an angled Tiger at like 180 range. So it's definitely killable. Have no doubt about that. But they're microing it really well behind cover, and it's just killing all the Axis armor. It's disgusting.
Yeah, there's also a Cheeto backing up, so even if the Tiger misses, there's a second volley coming in.
Yeah. So there was a period in this game where they could have made a very large comeback, but that period is definitively over. It is 117-4, and
all 3 of the non-naturals are held by the Axis.
Der Krieg ist verloren. The Axis are coming for the Queen. They're not gonna come, or the Queen for the Soviet Union, I guess.
That spotter in the back is still alive from the Axis.
Go look at Slugger. Oh shit, Slugger lands a nice hit. So
yeah, gets a.
Oh, that's just the Cheeto. Never mind. I thought it was the Tiger.
They're putting veteran SS tanker in the Japanese tanks as well.
I mean, that's a really ideal use of MP. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, go look up in the north. That spotter from the Axis that they put there in the early game is still there. The blue spot over there. You see the little guy on hold fire?
I do see it. Yeah.
He's been spotting the ally spawn this whole game. It's why you really cannot let people get around your flanks. If you do, It's kind of important to like just walk some guys around.
Especially if this was a closer game, they could be landing artillery like on the officer, which is that's a 200 PCOS right there, and some other shit. God, oh man, imagine if it was a close game and they landed an artillery shot right here amidst like the 3 officers. Oh, it'd be disgusting. Slugger goes down to the Tiger, and that is the final, nail in the coffin. But yeah, it's done. Hope to see a better game next game. Hell, I'd love to see a tiebreaker.
I mean, it wasn't a close game, but it was a good game.
It was close enough that there were several points where the Allies could have not only come back but very much decidedly won it, because several of the players were absolutely gas, as you said, for a good segment of this game.
They just weren't focusing the right counters.
Is that a paradrop?
There just wasn't anything to deal with the enemy.
Yeah, there's a paradrop coming in this rear point. Huh. It's like the ultimate. They should have done this earlier, because there's 4 points left.
And they're cheesing it. They're moving it around because they saw the infantry sitting there.
Yeah. The infantry are all out of ammo, though.
They landed to the left somewhere.
Kinda.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, we may see some of the bad-mouthing coming down. Yeah, they're moving up some Fallschirmjägers to secure it.
He killed one of the officers with that guy sitting in the back, just like you said.
Oh, yeah, it's a fucking assassin. That's what you should be doing, because that's like the highest value target you can realistically kill with a rifleman.
Yeah.
And again, at this point in the game, with this much shit on the field, the AI bugs out, especially when it's lagging this badly. So you're going to see...
Just look at the amount of red dots on the bottom of your screen.
Oh, yeah. That's just the Allied. There's even more green ones, and it'd be even more apparent if I was spectating the Allied. I really wish there was a way to spectate one of the other players.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Gates of Hell gets a spectating system in, and Gates of Hell works out its quirks, and we can...
Actually, I wonder about this. I wonder if we were both, instead of spectators, you create like a 4v4 game? Well, no, because then we would get part of the income.
I mean, it would work, but you wouldn't be able to turn off Fog of War or anything. And you wouldn't be able to see other people's income anyway. That
is true, yeah.
So it's not really an advantage.
No, I do like seeing the entire battle more.
And the game is about to end. We're at 124 or 125.
Yeah, it's a well-fought game by both of them. SSD dumb. Yeah.
Words of wisdom from Cornstarch.
SSD is dumb. Robz, please nerf. It takes a lot of hits from everything and survives.
Alright guys, once this game finishes here, I'm going to kick it to intermission and get my settings worked out, and hopefully I don't crash next game. I'm sure the stream quality went way down watching it through Dio's Discord stream.
Keep in mind we have a recording. I can punt that over to Crab and have him upload it. I'm going to end that recording because it's going to be like 8 fucking...
Enemy infantry, oh no, that might...
I think it's not gonna be able to take this shit. We already got it, right?
hostile truck to the south.
Whoa!